Thiago Silva still out with injury. Roman Abramovich gives green light for Erling Haaland. Maurizio Sarri almost returned to Chelsea to replace Lampard until Abramovich stepped in. And a new Tammy Abraham replacement in the name of Martin Satriano. Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we've got another Chelsea news today video where we find the best four subjects, the best four stories on Chelsea FC news today. So without further ado, starting off with Thiago Silva. So personally, I think Thiago Silva has had the biggest impact of any of the Chelsea signings this summer, really commanding in the back line, being like oppressive and everything. He's been so good in the middle of the three as well after Tuchel came in, and him not in a team, there's a big difference. You can tell by the back line they're less confident, and the whole team is just less confident as a whole. Now, he did pick up a hamstring muscle injury against Spurs after like Bicey clearance. It was a good clearance, but he's 36 and he just did his hamstring or whatever, and he was injured, but he was expected to be back by the 20th of February in time for the Southampton match. He wasn't, but then he was also injured for the Atletico Madrid game, and he's not been in training all week either, so he's not going to feature against Manchester United, which is a big blow. I was expecting Thiago Silva to be back for this game. He would have been really good in the defence, but we need him to be back for Thursday against Liverpool. Hopefully he is. Another week's rest slash recovery time should be enough to see him back in the team against Liverpool, and I don't think we can play Christensen against Liverpool after what he did last time. He literally WWE wrestle, this rugby tackled Sadio Mane, got a red, gave away a free kick. It was not a good performance, and I think we got smashed that day. And I don't think he is much closer to being recovered for the Man United game, as Tuchel confirmed that he didn't even travel to Atletico Madrid, or where was it, Romania. He didn't even travel with the squad. So if he was like almost recovered, then he would have travelled, maybe come off the bench for 5 minutes. But he was nowhere near recovered. He didn't even travel with the squad, and he won't be ready for Man United, which is a big miss. Erling Haaland has become one of the most sought after players in the world after his fantastic performances up front for Borussia Dortmund. 43 goals in 43 games. That is a record to be proud of. That is insane. And now it looks like most teams in Europe are interested. I think he would walk into any team in the world, and Chelsea are up there in one of the teams that want him and need him. And I think he'd be really good in Thomas Tuchel's system, being that pivotal role, like the important, just being that player up front to bounce passes off of Timo, Werner, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz and Hakim Ziyech. And at the age of 20, he'd really fit into this hungry and young squad, looking for titles, looking to go places. And I think he would be the perfect player. And I think with Erling Haaland and a centre-half, Chelsea could almost be complete and really be challenging for titles once again. Now, it is no secret that Thomas Tuchel wants Erling Haaland at Chelsea, and there's no secret that Roman Abramovich wants him at Chelsea. And there's been reports, and according to Bild, Roman Abramovich has given the green light to spend more than 100 million euros on the Norwegian striker. Now, I don't think Thomas Tuchel would be super popular with the Borussia Dortmund fans anymore, as he was a great success as their head coach before PSG. They liked him, he got them up the league, he did very well there. But if he does manage to lure away one of the best players in the world from them, and if Jadon Sancho joins as well, he's not going to be popular. They're not going to like him. And just after 1.5 seasons for Haaland and 2 seasons for Jadon Sancho, they're not going to like him. However, I do think enraging his former side is the least of his worries, and just getting one of the best strikers in the world for his current team is what he needs to prioritise. Now, thirdly, after Frank Lampard was sacked, still sad to this day, but Thomas Tuchel, he's been a revelation. He's been really good rebuilding this side, and yet to be beaten is a very good record. But once Frank Lampard was sacked, Marina Granovskaya, I don't think Abramovich was even asked about this, which is mad. Apparently, Marina Granovskaya asked Maurizio Sarri to become the next Chelsea manager once again. Obviously, he had a decent stint at Chelsea a few seasons ago. He didn't do much wrong. just his style of play wasn't what the fans were expecting. He won the Europa League, finished in 3rd spot in the end, which is just what Roman Abramovich was asking for. He didn't underperform, but he didn't really overperform either. And fair enough to him, he does play some decent football, and he's currently out of a job. And Marina Granovskaya asked him to come and join Chelsea once again, and Maurizio Sarri said yes. He was ready to join until Roman Abramovich stepped in and said, "No mate, you're not chewing cigarettes on our yard once again." Like I said, Roman Abramovich stopped everything, and Maurizio Sarri is now looking for that job in Napoli, who I think is Gattuso in charge over there. They're not really doing great. They got knocked out by Granada in the Europa League, so they're not in the Champions. They're not in Europe anymore. So they might want to replace him with Maurizio Sarri after leaving Naples to join Chelsea a few seasons ago. As we all know, Thomas Tuchel was brought in, and like I said, he's been a revelation. He's been brilliant. His impact has been huge. He's just really shored up the defence, and he's really brought out the best of some players, notably Jorginho, Kovacic, Marcos Alonso, Azpilicueta, Rudiger has been decent. Callum Hudson, Odoi playing him as a right wing back has really improved his football. Mason Mount was already good under Lampard, but I think he's really stepped up under Thomas Tuchel, and he's just taking responsibility for our side now, Mason Mount, and we need other players to start doing what he's doing. Now lastly, there's been lots of stories floating around of Tammy Abraham potentially leaving Stamford Bridge, as he can't get into the first team at the moment behind Olivier Giroud, and with Chelsea openly pursuing Erling Haaland's signature, if Erling Haaland joined, Tammy would be nowhere to be seen in the squad. So there's been reports that he stalled in renewing a contract, and he doesn't want to renew his contract, which runs out in 2023. And despite being a young future star, I still think he's 23. He's not young anymore, but he's a great striker and does have a future ahead of him. Chelsea might just have to let him go. They'd get quite a bit of money, I think 30, 40 to 50 million pounds for the Englishman, and he's going to want to prove himself in the Premier League still, or he might even go to AC Milan with Fikayo Tomori. And an Inter Milan Uruguayan youngster, Martin Satriano, has now been linked with Arsenal and Chelsea recently after taking a switch from Uruguay to Inter Milan last January on deadline day, I'm pretty sure, 31st of January. And although he's not even had a start, he's started on the bench a few times and is really impressed, and Chelsea are impressed, and so are Arsenal. And I do think Chelsea are looking at him because he's a similar player to Tammy Abraham. 6'2", Tammy's 6'3", 6'5" with the hair, and he's fast, he's powerful, a great finisher. He's 21 years old, so he does have a future ahead of him. And I guess Chelsea's thinking is, if we lose a academy product that has a good future ahead of him, then we got to bring in a player with a future ahead of him, not from the academy, just to replace him altogether. He's been really playing well in Inter's under-19s and has scored 5 goals in his last 4 games. And Chelsea seem very interested in that and want a piece of this Uruguayan, the next Luis Suarez, the next Edinson Cavani. He's also said that working with Lautaro Martinez and Romelu Lukaku has really stepped up his game. They're, I guess, 2 of the best strikers in the world, and their partnership is formidable over in Italy. And it would be a joy to work with either of them, let alone both of them. He did address the reports and said it's flattering to be linked to such great sides, but obviously, like every player says when they're linked to another team, their mind's where they are and they're just focusing on the games in front of them. I think it's only a matter of time until we see him play in Italy, maybe with either Lautaro or Romelu Lukaku, or come off the bench eventually, and then maybe Chelsea do end up selling Tammy Abraham in the summer, but then bring in Satriano to replace him. That is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you haven't enjoyed. Like the video if you did enjoy. If you haven't enjoyed, comment down below why. Subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.